What's going on, guys? Armand here. Welcome back to the Cracked Lens podcast. I'm here with Michael. Go ahead, plug it.
What's up? Michael with Cobalt Studios here. Also, Nilas Photography and wedding photographer guy. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, so we were supposed to release an episode a while ago.
Yeah.
We had Kayla on, and it was actually a good topic. It was a good podcast.
It went really well.
It went really well.
Fluid, kind of funny.
Yeah, and basically the topic was using dating apps to promote your business, whether it be like photography or otherwise.
And I think the consensus was to do it because it's a good idea.
So I was able to break it up into reels. The internet spoke, and they think it's shady. They don't like it. People were mad about it.
Our consensus was it's a good idea. The internet is wrong. No, but for real, thanks for the feedback, guys. And yeah. People like their dating apps not touched by photography.
But it was a good episode. It won't see the light of day, unfortunately, because the mic cut out halfway.
RIP episode.
RIP.
Kayla,
unfortunately.
We will have you back, and we love you, and we appreciate your time.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, what's the topic for today?
The topic for today is burnout and social media.
Oh.
The two separately or together?
It flows together,
Yeah. So recently I had kind of a burnout stage, or phase rather, and I've never really experienced something like that. This past month, I haven't even really wanted to pick up a camera.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go out and shoot landscapes. I didn't even want to edit pictures. I didn't want to do anything around photography.
Yeah.
Aside from work, of course. If it's for work, I'm going to do it.
To get some money,
Yeah, have to survive. But I don't know, that was something totally new for me. And I know you're always talking about feeling burnt out.
Yeah, no, I'm sad that you feel or have felt that way, because it's something that's definitely hit me, just feeling burnt out and kind of done. Because when you make your hobby or your passion your career, you can't.
Yeah, it totally changes.
Yeah, and then okay, I'm working, photography, and I'm like, dude, I want to break. And it's well, I don't want to take pictures or go out or do something like that. And it makes me sad, because I'm looking at work of Julian or something. I'm looking at his post. He does really cool, almost ethereal or surrealistic kind of landscapes around town, stills of buildings and trees. And I'm like, that looks like fun. I want to go do that. But by the time I'm done with my other sessions that week, I don't want to be anywhere near my camera in general. I'll leave it at the studio and go home.
You want to do everything but take pictures.
Yeah, it does not sound fun. Or because you get taking pictures can be fun, but then now you have another thing to cull, and then you're gonna want another thing to edit, and you're gonna feel like you're neglecting the work side of things. At least that's how I feel. And so, but then you throw social media into that. Let's talk about how you feeling about social media and photography.
Okay, so this is kind of an interesting take, but I feel like, there was a huge social media boom right up until 2020, right?
Yeah.
I feel like 2019 was the peak, and it just felt like this rat race, right? Or this endless hamster wheel of just turning out content.
Attention me.
Yeah, attention, just grab everybody's attention, right? And from doing this podcast and cutting the clips every week and editing the video and having to put out something every single week, I'm like, what's the point of this?
Yeah, and huge thanks to you, because I'm such a crap partner. I have no time, and you're taking the wheel and doing so much of that, and I appreciate you. And it is a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot, and social media is so much work. And
it is a lot of work.
Sometimes you think too, and I think soon I would love to talk about marketing. We were talking about it before this podcast as well, marketing and stuff. Not going to get into marketing, but it's almost you spend so much time. Is it more efficient just to pay for marketing and find other outlets or ways to get clientele and things like that?
So the way I see it is if you can delegate things out, right? Because everyone says time is the most important asset.
Yeah.
100%, right? So, for example, you do weddings. If you pay someone to edit your wedding, how much time would you save? per week or per day.
You guys keep telling me that all the time, and I'm such a stubborn ass, but like, honestly, okay, so as an artist in the last like year, I've gotten so much busier since the studio, and it's like you get to this point where your reputation grows, which also, going back to social media, I feel like it could be extremely beneficial or lucrative if you get to the point where you have that following, and that's what we're all like fiending for and trying to get to, but it takes so much effort to get there, and it
feels like it's
your soul, I feel like
it's starting to mean less and less over time.
But I also see that it's just like, you know, all the markets change, and social media and the attention, the markets change. People have had their attention diverted in so many directions that like, where do you focus your time? TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Facebook's dying now, it seems like. It's like, what am I supposed to, YouTube, whatever.
Yeah.
And so, but like you said, time is really important. And so it's like, we could spend the time to make all these videos and do stuff like that.
Like, how long does it take you to edit like a full wedding? Like culling, editing, everything?
Culling, oh man, it depends because they vary. So like every wedding's so much different.
Yeah.
It could have
like
a lot happening. Oh, I should know the answer, right?
It's like 10 hours?
Something like, it's a day. It's about a day.
Okay, full day.
Sometimes it can be like a half a day. And that's me personally. Some people have ways they're really like streamlined, but.
So you could look at weddings two ways, right?
Yeah.
You could look at it as an artistic endeavor, right? Like, you're going to shoot this wedding, you have a specific look in mind, like you're only going to edit it yourself because like that's what they're paying for.
Yeah.
And that's what they expect, right? So only you are the one delivering that style.
Yeah.
But if you don't really have a style, you could look at it as like, okay, for me, a wedding is one day, make a couple grand, job out the editing, and save a ton of time.
Not touch it.
Yeah, just not touch it. Just deal with the clients.
I know a lot of wedding photographers that work that way, or photographers of any kind that will outsource their editing. And me personally, I just haven't found it in me to do it. But I know as my business grows that I'm going to have to delegate.
Yeah. Because it's like, okay, let's say you had one free day.
Yeah.
Right? One free day, instead of editing, you're going to focus on marketing or advertising or something, like doing other things to grow your business.
Honestly,
right?
At this point, I would probably take that day to go out and spend it with my kids, because since I've grown, it's working 7 days a week. And so time is really valuable. And
see? And you could spend time with your kids. You could spend time with Rose, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know, man. You put me on the spot on the camera. I'm thinking about it now. I gotta walk away.
See, now it makes sense.
It makes so much sense, and I get it when people tell me, and I get hassled about like, oh, I should outsource. And it's the same. Like, I don't know. I feel like with social media, people put so much time and effort into it. Like, what if you delegated your social media posts? Like, what's more personal or personable or personal? Like, I don't know which, but having your style and your theme with your work and spending your time editing, or presenting yourself to people on the internet. Like, how are we supposed, this should be about time management. What are we supposed to do with our time? What are we supposed to do with our time? Like, as a photographer, and as we've said before, you're not just a photographer. You're marketing, website, social media, the list goes on and on and on and on.
The web admin.
Everything you could think that revolves around a business, you are every little like nut, gear, and bolt.
Yep.
So what parts do you delegate? And honestly, like I've for me with the social media, I've neglected like 6 months of work that are not like I haven't posted like any weddings because I don't have enough time. I have an Instagram for my wedding photographer guy stuff, and it's basically just like dead. Yeah. Even Darkive has been really slow, but we haven't been posting on the page. Like, it's a lot of work, and I don't know how people do it. Like,
well, you have like 3 businesses in one. You have the studio, you have your wedding thing, then you have like your own like, you know, portraits and personal stuff.
Every thing involving photography lumped into that.
Yeah.
It's so, I
would say most people don't have that.
That's true.
Because like if you didn't have the studio, you'd have way more time.
That's true. Oh, I know. Yeah, it's really the psych wall.
It's the psych wall.
This bastard.
The psych wall just takes up your whole life.
I was scrubbing it like earlier today, and it was literally draining my existence because when it gets hot in the studio. It's really hot right now, by the way, guys.
That's why the lights are red. It's reflecting the temperature outside.
I feel like
we're just cooking in here.
Tank right now with the night bulb. It's warm.
We're in a terrarium right now.
I'm wearing a beanie like a genius. But when it's warm in the studio, it actually, things will make impressions and stuff on the cycle.
Yeah, it warps it a little bit.
And it's like someone walked on it with heels.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so it's terrible, and you got to level it out. It's a whole thing, but you can't clean inside the little heel holes. And so I was in here earlier for like trying to leave
scrubbing with your toothbrush.
And I'm literally on my hands and knees, just like trying to scrub it out, and it's like it's not some glorified job.
Nope.
it's worth it though. But no. So it's like, yeah, do I have someone come in work on the studio if I had the extra money, or do I have them work on my social media, or like, but as a photographer that's got like one facet, right? So say like a wedding photographer, what would you delegate? What, editing?
Probably editing if I didn't have like a very defined style.
Yeah.
Like if you just do like basic edits on your wedding, like just do a pass and just make it look decent.
Or like train someone too.
Or train someone, yeah. Like...
Well, because, for example, like my style, I've seen stylized stuff. I typically recommend against it. That's why I don't have a very stylized look for that.
See, but the thing is that if you are super stylized, you can charge more. Because people are willing to pay that premium for that look.
I feel like you could also charge a premium if you just do a really damn good job getting the natural tones and stuff and capturing. So for me, it's like what I'm selling.
But it's kind of like snapshotty, Like remember the episode we did about the sepia gate?
Yeah.
The girl had like a really defined style.
Yeah.
And
she got kind of dragged for it.
She got dragged for it eventually. But that's why they charge more, is like for this style. And it could be shooting on film, it could be a certain editing style or shooting style or whatever, right? So a lot of elopement photographers I follow, they have like a very like defined style, and when I see one of their photos, I'm like, this is definitely shot by them.
I think that's...
But they charge a ton.
So what I would say is I think that like social media kind of helps their presence because people want to follow because it's a different style, because they have a niche.
Yeah.
I don't know. In my wedding world, I kind of charge, my style is like authentic. It's just like the way I do things. I'm looking for authenticity.
Canon colors.
Canon colors? You call me out for my Canon? You need your Sony? Maybe I should shoot in Leica. Huh?
Leica has a style to it.
Okay. Like
it's just baked in. Just shoot a whole wedding in JPEG.
My Canon, you bastard. My R5 is wonderful, although your Sony is pretty nice, so I'm not going to get into it.
A1 is pretty great.
I'm just going to shoot on this Minolta from now on.
That's a style.
That's true. I have an editing style, like with my weddings. I know we don't go review my weddings and stuff. I have a...
That's the next podcast.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. But I have an editing style. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. I feel like their other work that I do has a lot different. It's like that's more noticeable though. My dark stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
Who does that shit? But anyways, man.
If you edited like a whole wedding, like dark style,
should I try it sometime?
You should try it sometime.
I need to like, hey, anyone out there want to get like a dark themed wedding with really moody portraits?
Yeah, if it was like a goth wedding or like an alternative wedding or something like that.
I do edits like that sometimes.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
If every like photo was just like some like piece of art you could frame, that'd be pretty cool.
I do stuff like that. I just never find the time to go and post it on the internet because I feel burnt out. And I don't want to go to social media.
There you go.
There we are.
See, I've had to like force myself to post things the past month.
It's not easy, man.
It's not easy. Like when you're like, burnt to a crisp and you're like, I can't even like open Lightroom right now.
Well, it's like,
just like, this is painful to like open Photoshop.
we're not meant to be online as much as we are and consuming as much as we are.
It's unnatural.
It's not natural, dude. And it's like, it's really hard because we're adults with lives and things to do and responsibilities. And then it really is just like a very how long does it take you to make a post, for example?
Ooh, to okay, the photo's been edited?
Yeah, photos edited, everything's like you've got the picture, it's ready to go, or like a video. Like, does it take you a long time to make a post?
Not usually,
Okay.
because when I'm shooting the picture, I have like the caption already like planned out in my head. Like I have my hashtag saved on
Like a notepad or something?
yeah, like in my notes, and they're all for like different things.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't take me that long to post it. It takes me a long time to edit because my editing style is so like complex.
Yeah, it is.
Because I do like Lightroom and Photoshop, and then I go in and like for me everything in the frame has to be perfect.
Yeah, and then and for like example, if you're doing a reel and stuff, then you probably have different formats that you use.
Yeah, so if I'm posting a photo with the video, right? Mm-hmm. So that's another thing is for every time I post photos and videos.
Yeah.
So I have to edit two things. And I feel like the videos are faster to edit than the photos now. But maybe I just have like a system down. I don't know.
Once you get it down, right? I'm really slow at videos because I don't do it. But photos I could fly through because I've done like tens and tens of thousands.
Yeah, so like I'm editing in Lightroom and then it goes into Photoshop and I do my treatment on every single photo. So if I'm posting like 3 or more photos, that's like a ton of time.
Yeah.
But like usually it's like from the same set, so I can just like copy things over in Photoshop, so it's a little bit quicker.
Okay.
But then I'm editing horizontal and vertical video because I want to post it on TikTok and like Instagram Reels too.
Yeah.
So like for every one post, it's like a ton of work.
Yeah.
Because
That's what makes it hard, dude.
That's what makes it hard. If it was just photos, I'd be saving a lot of time. But now I got to shoot video on top of it.
So I guess it's hard to even assess like how much time am I spending that is extra because of all these platforms.
Yeah.
Because like if it were,
I'm like, is it even worth it anymore? Like I'm not even really getting jobs from this.
Dude, if it was the perfect world, like it'd be nice to just edit one format.
Yeah.
Put it out on like your website. That would be wonderful. But those days are dead and gone. And so it's like, it's
actually not really.
Okay.
So the one you referred me to for the engagement party.
Yeah.
They said, do you have a website or Instagram? Well, and I sent them both.
When you so the only reason I'm on social media is not to.
Okay. So here's another thing, interjection. When I shoot for these like commercial and corporate brands, they say, what's your website? They don't ask for social media at all.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like the website is super important when you have the client, they're here, they're in front of you. Like, oh, okay, I've got the client in front of me. I've got whoever in front of me. We're having a conversation. It's website. All the way it's website.
All the way.
But social media is like free marketing.
It is. Social media is free marketing.
I only see it as marketing. I don't take it seriously at all. When people are like, I have 100,000 followers on Instagram, I'm like, I don't give a single shit.
Yeah.
Like, and that's no disrespect to anyone who works really hard. It's really awesome to have a platform where you've got all those viewers, but I don't see it as some badge of honor.
Yeah.
Because
not
some
anymore.
people just take it more seriously than others. And
and some people just get lucky with the algorithm, or they hit the algorithm like years ago when it was not an algorithm, or back in the day when it was top 9 on Instagram, you know?
I don't really, like, I don't count my numbers, but it's hard to not notice when you are doing your thing, right? And it's like, I always feel like it goes up a couple and then like under a couple and then like up a couple. And I'm like, what is this ridiculous game? And that's what it feels like. It's just a weird game.
It is. Okay, so here's another thing to think about, right? Instagram, if you're using it, you know, for marketing, we'll say, on there, you're basically promoting to regular everyday people. You know, if you have a lot of followers, then you're promoting to brands and maybe even commercial companies.
Yeah.
And if you're marketing to like commercial brands and stuff like that, Without social media, then you need the website. So the website is more like professional, and the Instagram is for, or social media is really just for everyday people, because that's who's going to be following you.
So aliens come down, they're all powerful, they know everything, and they're like, Armand, we're taking over your internet presence, and you may only have one platform.
Yeah.
What you getting? Is it
website?
Website.
Any day of the week.
Any day of the week. Same. Website.
It'd be nice to go back to a time where there was no Instagram stories.
I would die for that. I would die.
Just post a single square photo and call it a day.
One by one's fine with me. You know, take it back. I was not very active back then either.
I wasn't either.
When it was,
you couldn't even like post your camera photos back in the day. It had to be taken on the app with your cell phone.
See, I forget about that.
That's some boomer talk for you.
Thank you for that. Okay.
Boomergram.
Oh man, no, I would say though, and putting the two together, burnout and social media, I feel like the biggest cause of burnout for most people is social media because of the time that it consumes and because of the way, more importantly, that it makes us feel. Like you put your heart, and we've talked about this obviously before, but you put your heart and soul into your work. Mm-hmm. You try so hard, you throw it out there. Some people out there that do really, really good work that just aren't very keen on social media, get like 10 views or something like that on a reel. They work their ass off for. How does it make you feel? That's going to contribute to burnout more than anything.
Yeah. See, when I post on Instagram, it doesn't really get seen by that many people. Yeah. There's certain things that will get seen by a lot of people, right? So if we do our group shoots and we're shooting a model, for example, it's going to get seen by a lot of people. Like I know it's going to do good. If I'm shooting some crazy weather condition, right? Like northern lights, people are looking for those things. The algorithm's just picking it up. So certain things I know is going to do really good. And then I'm like excited to post on social to share it with people. But I feel like most of the time I'm not like too excited to share my stuff. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get it.
Like if I have something really cool that I just shot, then I'm like, I can't wait to share this.
You know beforehand, like you're saying too, and it's like, why am I even going to post this? It's almost like it's going to take away from your excitement you have for it yourself.
And I went to Vancouver Island recently, really awesome trip.
Yeah.
Took a lot of cool photos. Some are going to do not as good as others, but it was like the experience of being there in person was amazing.
Yeah.
And I know it's not going to do good on social media because it's not like a popular place.
Do you think it's the presentation that either you or I have? Do you think it's a presentation that is making these things like essentially fail? Or do you think it's the way that the algorithm is? And
you know what it is, like, to be totally honest? Only people with a lot of followers can make not known places look really cool. Okay. Right? So if I had 100,000 followers, right, and I posted those Vancouver Island pictures, people would be like stoked about it.
Yeah.
But because I only have like 2,000 some followers, nobody's even heard of Vancouver Island.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe I should post my pictures from Craig, Colorado.
There you go.
That's for you, Rose. No one cares about Craig. I'm sorry.
Rip.
It was cool. There's a lot of antelope though. Okay.
Yeah.
So.
When I post animal pictures from Wyoming, people are excited.
Because animals are beautiful.
Yeah, because people are like, whoa, wildlife is cool. What kind of deer is that?
That's a moose.
Like, that's a big moose. That's the evolution of the deer.
Deer cow.
Yeah, it's the deer cow.
They made a baby.
But, like when I post Iceland pictures, nobody's excited.
Yeah.
When I post New Zealand pictures, nobody's excited. Japan pictures, same thing.
Do you feel like that's oversaturation of those areas because people go out there?
I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's kind of like symbolic with like the whole buying a print thing.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if somebody has never been there and they can't like connect with the place, they're going to go, oh, cool photo, but it doesn't mean anything to them. Maybe the same thing with a social media post.
Yeah.
So maybe the two go together. Or maybe someone's like planning a trip and they're like excited and they're going to be like, oh, I can't wait. Yeah.
See, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I want to go to the bamboo forest in Japan.
Dude, that'd be so sick.
Yeah. I've been there.
I know, I've seen. It's so wicked.
Got a big print in my house.
I was talking about you recently, and you said something like you would stay here in Oregon, even though you've been all these other cool places. So I tell people that I haven't been very many places. So I think before I knew you, I was like, is there a cool place I would want to go and live besides for Oregon? And then you were like, no, this place is cool, the PNW. And then I'm like, okay, no, I'm just going to like trust vicariously that this is.
I feel, yeah, like for me, it's either Oregon or Washington. That's it.
PNW, baby.
PNW.
I've just lived on the West Coast my whole life. I don't know anything else.
Because it's the best coast. What
up? You get killed by someone from like Boston or something. Yeah, man. No, I get really tired of feeling burnt out though, and I think that's why I try.
It sucks when it happens. It's like you're in quicksand.
Well, I cling to community and people around me because I know I can't trust social media for any form of like validation, and we all need validation. That's just a fact because I mean, that's how we judge how good we are is by, comparison and by people telling us we're doing okay. And so, of course, people go to social media for that. And like I've said a million times, it's just not the way to do it. And so I try not to let social media affect my burnout. But the downside with that is I'm not posting at all because I see it as such a negative presence that I'm like, I'll just wait. I'll just stack up, or I'll wait till my stuff is even better, because we always do that like imposter syndrome thing where our stuff might be really good, but we're like afraid.
So I don't really get affected by imposter syndrome.
Well, your landscapes are phenomenal.
Because like I know if I'm gonna put something out there, like it's good.
Yeah.
Like I have so many pictures on my computer where I'm like, this isn't like up to my like standard or quality. I'm just not even gonna edit it.
The ones you throw out there, those are.
Yeah.
I feel it.
Those are usually the best ones. Sometimes there's like filler posts. I'm like, I'm just posting photos to post photos sometimes.
I'm conflicted.
And it gets like 2 likes.
Oh, yeah. The pain.
And then I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Dude, I also sometimes if you post too quickly or whatever, it kind of like ruins it because you just, it's a little careless.
Or posting on the wrong day or wrong time or whatever. So dumb. Literally so dumb.
I have so many pictures stacked up on my computer right now that
should just sit down and schedule them for like weeks at a time.
I would love the time to be able to sit down and schedule them out, and I keep trying to make it and do it. But
see, if you job out the editing, you could spend the whole day just scheduling posts. Yeah,
I call it port sorting, right? So it's like I have all of my galleries, and it's like they go into this thing called send and sort when they're saved, and then from there, only when they're like sorted out. Like if it's a client session, I give them like kind of a bit of pictures sometimes if they have a certain package, but then I only need like 1 or 2, right?
Yeah.
So they go in there until I'm ready to look back later and make that decision. Because if you do it and look at your pictures, sometimes you think one's the best, but I don't know. I always take time to look at my pictures and go back later because I like have a different eye to it. And I'm like, you know what? This one's actually really good, and that one's not as good as I thought it was. But my send and sort folder that I have is just like a giant
huge
list, and I'm like, oh, so I haven't posted any of these. I haven't put them on my website. They're like literally not seen by anyone except the client.
Yeah. See, but like that's the thing is like sometimes to stay relevant, you just need to keep posting.
Yeah.
Like you worked with the one guy with the cool statues.
Oh, Julian Voss's work was amazing. Those pictures were sick.
And like, did you get that through social media or through your studio?
Studio.
See?
Just called. I didn't know anything about.
I feel like because you just have the studio, you don't even need to like post on your personal stuff.
Well, that's the cool thing about SEO. I'm actually getting quite a number of jobs through the studio because the studio, when you type in Portland Photography Studio, is like up on the top.
Yeah.
And so people will call me all the time and just ask like, oh, do you guys do this? And I'm like, absolutely. And then we meet and we do it, and it's a great experience. And then I was like, wow, SEO is wonderful. And so if you have a website and if you think you're spending all your time on social media, if it's working for you, awesome. If it's not necessarily working for you, take some time away from that, or delegate time differently, I guess, and try to go in and just like plug away on your SEO.
Yeah.
And I won't talk too much about that. That's for you to figure out. Google how to make really nice SEO, or talk to someone, or take a course, because
it's always changing too.
And it is always changing. And your competitors probably know what they're doing a lot better than you do. So it's worth educating yourself, though.
Totally, yeah.
Instagram is not. It's hard to use. It's the same as like search engines, right? It's got all its own rules and all its own things you got to do, and it's not easy. But if you're going to have to learn how one of them works, personally, I would say learn how Google works.
Yeah, so YouTube SEO is integrated into Google.
Okay.
So like when you Google a question, YouTube videos will pop up for it.
Okay.
So there's ways to like, populate that.
I need to learn more about YouTube because I want to step into the video realm more and more.
We're doing it right now.
Yeah. Hey, hi. Hello. Well, we did the music video the other day.
Yeah, we did the music video a couple days ago.
That was a whole...
Did you learn anything?
Too much. Yeah.
Too much.
Well, I was so overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And hot.
And hot.
It was wild, but doing music videos, and that's something I hope to talk about more, is video stuff and creative video. And hopefully you and I could go out and practice, because I respect your video work, and I would like to learn. And I need to learn.
You need to learn.
Asking you about frame rates and stuff.
See, that's another thing, is that you can't just do photography anymore. You have to do video too.
Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. I love photography, but
you know what? I'm gonna name drop someone. Okay, do you know Cassidy Lynn?
Why does it sound familiar?
She's a wedding photographer.
I knew it.
She's kind of big on TikTok.
Okay.
And I guess Instagram too. She shoots Sony. Sony Squad.
Okay, so I've heard the name. I'm really bad. If I saw the work, though, I'd probably know, because I've seen a lot of
So she's mainly a wedding photographer.
Okay.
She does like couples sessions and portraits and stuff too.
Yeah.
But her social media game is crazy, and her business is growing because of that.
Okay.
So she does Instagram Reels. She does the TikToks. She has Lightroom presets. She has merch. She has her podcast that comes out every single week. I've been following her for like over a year.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So yeah, and I think she does it all too, like herself, like her and her husband.
Cassidy and husband, you're crazy. Respect.
Yeah. So, it literally is a full-time job, and it's like hard to not be a workaholic sometimes.
It's become a problem to be a workaholic. I mean, because like
it's easy.
It's when you have like kids and you still need like downtime and romance and those things that are like essential for our lives, that that fuel you, that are wholesome. Mm-hmm. It's really difficult to have all those different things going on, because it's like, like, oh, we have to be in to clean the studio, or oh, I have a shoot, or oh, I'm gonna go and do the podcast and all that. It's like everything is something, and like Rose and I have had to be apart a lot more, and so we have all these like I miss you texts all the time.
Yeah.
Just like,
so that's kind of a good thing, though.
Maybe, but to an extent, I don't know. It's a mixed thing.
Yeah, but like you also live together.
It's good to be.
You need the time apart
from your partner if you work together.
Yeah.
But like for someone who does it alone too, like being a workaholic, you forget to do things that are fun, or then you're too tired to go out or something like that, right? So
it's hard to balance it.
Balance, burnout.
It doesn't exist.
Yeah, dude, this life is not easy. It's like we've said before, it's not for the faint of heart, and it's really hard to live in this day and age too, I think. But then again, do they always say that? Probably,
See,
at least we're not getting
I think, yeah, I mean, at least you're working, right?
We're working, and we're not being, yeah.
I think there has to be a good way to kind of like consolidate everything, I don't know, just to make it all like easier. You know what I mean? Like I was telling you, like, okay, instead of renting out the studio every day and trying to just get more bookings and stuff, just offer
e-commerce program.
Yeah, just start doing e-commerce in here. Just use this photo studio as only your spot.
Yeah.
And just forget about, rentals, or like fill in the gaps with rentals. Just only open it to certain days when you're not using it.
I could see making a schedule and doing it that way, but like closing it off to everyone would be like, or for the majority of the time, I mean, like that would.
Okay, let's say hypothetical. Let's live in hypothetical world.
Hypothetical world, yeah.
Let's say you're the only photographer that's using the studio.
Yeah.
You make 20 to 30 grand a month.
Yeah.
Just using the studio. Would you close it off to the public?
I mean, 20 to 30 grand a month.
Yeah.
And I'm still doing weddings some weekends.
Yeah.
I would hate my life.
But you're only working 9 to 5 here.
I might hate my life. I don't know.
Or you could you do the wedding on the weekend, but you job out the editing.
It's a lot of thought.
It's
a lot of money, though.
It's a lot of money.
I hate money. So
you need to learn to love money. That's the thing.
I need to learn to delegate.
Yeah, learn to delegate the smaller things.
If you're
just be the face of your brand,
dude,
and delegate all the small things out.
It's all so frustrating.
You got to learn to run this like a business, not a passion.
Fuck business. I'm so done. I love having work. It's so crazy.
There's the business mindset and there's the freelance mindset.
Oh my God. I remember what it was like to be like, shit, I need work. I'm barely scraping by. And then you have too much free time and you market and you do what you can with your budget. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, you have some time. You're like, oh, I've done enough. And you play Minecraft. And then life feels like it's going in this successful path. But then with it, there's like more overhead and more costs. And it's like you're just working. But then you still just feel like you're scraping by money financially. And so I would love the secrets. I love community. I love shooting. I love doing everything we do. But someone should teach me how to be better about being assertive.
I'm literally telling you
Shut
right
up,
now. I'll be your Tyler Durden.
Whatever. All right. You never know what to do though, no matter what position. And some people figure it out, right, and get it.
Do you know how many photographers don't have a photo studio? Like a fully equipped photo studio.
I haven't got to unlock its full potential.
Yeah, exactly.
But
it's like when you reach the final boss and at the end of the video game.
I'm like on my 47th playthrough right now, and I'm still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, whatever. It's like you reach the end and then you just got like whatever crazy overpowered weapon.
I have an OP weapon?
Yeah. It's called the photo studio.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I feel pretentious.
That's okay.
That's fair.
The final boss is corporate clients.
Ew.
But they have all the money.
I'm going back down to like...
No. It's like...
Yoshi's house. Eating apples. I ain't going nowhere.
Think about it like, okay, let's say you're in the forest, right? Mm-hmm. And you come across a bear. Are you going to act big or are you going to act small? If you act small, you're dead.
I'm dead.
Guys, this podcast is taking a turn.
I don't want to live anymore. I'm going to let the bear eat me.
Weak.
Will you be the bear?
I am the bear.
Fuck this shit. I don't know. It's hot in this room.
It is very hot. These lights are getting a little redder.
I think we're fucking melting.
We are. I'm very sweaty right now.
Oh my God. No. Okay. With great responsibility comes burnout.
Burnout.
It's a lot of burnout.
Yeah, boy.
I have a lot of respect though for people who I see hustling all the time that like have studios and keep going. But it's crazy like in the creative scene. And that's why I don't want to turn this place into like an e-commerce, because I was in Denver recently and I met with a photographer and I was like, oh, there's this photographer in Denver that I really like. And we talked about the other photographer. It's Johnny Creative, obviously, because I'm obsessed with Johnny Creative's work.
Yeah.
But the other photographer I'm talking to is like, oh, there's nothing like you guys have out in Portland here. I'm like, but Denver's like huge. Like you don't have like meetups, and if there is a meetup out there in Denver, I don't mean to disrespect, I just like had this conversation to tell me, but it was like most of the photographers apparently are like boudoir or wedding, and there's not much of a creative scene is what I'm told.
Yeah.
And it made me think about how like we're receiving, like our community's receiving notice out there, and this dude is like, I can't wait to get out to Portland and do like one of the events with you guys and meet so and 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 so, like, because I just see them on Instagram and I see the stuff you guys do, and I was like,
We're in like such a hot spot. We don't even know it.
I was out
People
there.
like dream of coming here.
Yeah, I was out there just visiting Rose's family, and we were going through back to Denver to go on the airplane, and she was like, "Oh, and work this photographer out there," and so that's when this conversation happened, and I keep hearing things kind of similar, but that experience itself was like, are we in kind of a cool little hotspot out here, and why is creative stuff happening? And so like I would die to see like the studio just become like e-commerce, but at the same time, like if I could keep the lights on and do stuff like that and have a team that comes in and works with me and see them and feel like I have coworkers, which I'm already fiending for, as you know, because and bring life into this place. And,
okay, imagine this, right? You make the 20 to 30 grand a month.
And I pay people to work with me.
Yeah.
And have...
You can delegate things. You can have so much extra time. You don't even have to stress about money.
I have money to have parties for photography friends.
Yeah, exactly.
There'd be a lot less burnout.
Yeah, you could have your weekends free.
That'd be kind of cool.
Or maybe the weekend is when you edit your pictures.
Is this a podcast about how I don't know how to delegate my photos?
You could just be the all-in-one photo studio.
That's pretty cool.
Just like brands come to me, I got the studio, I'll shoot it, I'll edit it, I'll send you the pictures.
Apparently this podcast is about give me ideas on how to use my space better, because I'm not a businessman, I'm just a photographer that happened to this space. And if we can make it more lucrative for everyone to work here and create awesome art and keep the lights on and have
Exactly.
parties. Shoot your ideas. Shoot your shot.
Yep.
Shoot your shot podcast.
Shoot your shot. That was almost the name of the podcast.
The name.
But it was taken.
It was taken. Whoever you are.
Yeah.
Good name. But yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's a lot to think about. I'm feeling like I got to figure out my burnout now, though. Mm-hmm. And same with you. And I don't want you to feel burnt out. So...
I feel like I'm getting back to the point of like, okay, I want to like do things again.
Well, so you're working a corporate style photo gig now. I don't know if you want to name drop or anything.
Yeah, so I work at an e-commerce photo studio now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just all products. It's working with, professional models. I'm a digitech there.
Yeah.
Trying to work my way up to photographer.
As you have to.
Yeah. And it's literally just repetitions. It's like get the products in there, shoot 1 million frames, art directors go through, pick the shot.
Do you think that's part of the burnout though? Because even if you're not shooting, like being around it all the time.
I will say being a digitech in an e-commerce space is a little mind-numbing, but a job is a job right now. Like if you look at what's happening down in LA, nobody's working.
Yeah.
And up here, we're lucky to be working.
Yeah.
Because the whole industry, like bigger brands, commercial, big film studios, even people in unions, like nobody's working. Like it's getting pretty desperate down there.
Dude, I guess while we're talking about burnout and while I'm complaining a bit, we're lucky to have work.
We are lucky to have work. And on top of that, like what's going on is because people are so desperate, all the rates are getting like slashed pretty hard.
Oh, that kills the standard?
Yeah. But the people in the unions are a little bit more so protected.
Yeah.
But even like union work is way down right now.
Oh my.
Which sucks.
Dead.
Yeah, like if you pay attention to the movie theaters, there's like nothing being released right now.
That's true.
Yeah. No new movies are coming out, which, I'm not really a fan of like the newer movies coming out.
I have like a 6-month-old, so I haven't been going to movies because I don't want to be that asshole. But I won't say which, but yeah, my son and Rose, they went to a movie recently, and
yeah,
I don't like anything that's coming out really, but it's hard to like see the lack of creativity out there.
They just keep remaking old movies.
Stop doing that.
Stop doing that.
What are you doing? Be original, please.
Yeah.
Can't live this way.
Yeah.
All right, here, fun question.
Okay, fun question.
What's a movie that you would like to see a remake of that is not currently a remake?
That's currently not a remake?
Yeah.
Ooh, good question. Do you have one?
The Thing.
The Thing?
The Thing with practical effects. Do it, please. Involve me. I'll come.
I'm trying to think if there's any like good movies from the 80s or 90s.
So many. Weird Science. This is an actual suggestion. Stop remaking movies and ruining things.
Did The Crow get a remake?
Yeah.
The original was amazing.
Dude,
the original was so good.
It's always that way. It's like when a band or something, like I typically find that like when a band has like their first 2 albums, that's the best, and then they get big, and then it's like it gets less authentic, I feel like. But same like a movie, like you can't just redo something and expect it to be like good. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Even sequels. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Sequels are not good sometimes.
Like Boondock Saints is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
Sequel, I'll watch it, but no.
That's a hard question. I don't have an answer for that, because all the ones I like, all the movies I like, they're like trilogies or like series or stuff.
Right.
Yeah. Like Star Wars, Matrix.
I would watch another Blade Runner. If they made another Blade Runner, that would be sick.
I was just thinking about Blade Runner.
I love Blade Runner.
Blade Runner is cool.
I like the first one the most, but I love Blade Runner.
Because like my favorite movie ever is Interstellar.
I've only seen it once, but it was good.
It was really good.
It hurt my head a little bit.
I saw it once in the theater, and that was enough. I was like, this movie's it.
Is there any movies you went to the theater multiple times for?
The first Lord of the Rings. I saw it like 7 times.
He was a bad bitch.
Yeah.
There's a good reason for that. Lord of the Rings, I've talked about every day for the last 3 days. In some way.
Dude, I went to Hobbiton. I went to Bilbo's house.
I had a consultation today, this morning at 10 a.m., sitting out there in the parking lot, and they're doing a Lord of the Rings themed wedding, and that would be my second.
Yo, there's a Hobbit house. There's a Hobbit house in Washington. What? Yeah, you can rent it on Airbnb.
Girl, I'm writing this down.
Yo, write that down. That would be amazing for your clients. Just saying. It's a big brain idea right here. Just saying.
I am such a nerd.
It's like
gross.
It's like $1,000 a day, but it's worth it.
Save up to some sort of
save it. Yeah. If it's a wedding, just do an overnighter. Like, come on.
I'll tell my clients about that. Maybe they'll go.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty sick.
It's pretty cool.
They're doing like a Bilbo's party kind of theme, super laid back.
Oh hell yeah!
She said when she's walking down the aisle, she wants it to feel like
the Shire.
No, she wants that part to have like the looks and the feels of when Arwen is leaving in the woods. You know? Like with lanterns and shit like that. But
that's cool.
I was like, I like everything you're saying to me right now.
Yeah, it's epic.
I'll
second shoot that one.
Dude, okay. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
As
long as it's not in the summertime.
Oh, that wouldn't be as fun. I did a couple that had a Lord of the Rings themed wedding, and they I think it was collected with their friends, but they had like almost, if not all, the replica swords that you can buy.
Yo, that's cool. Rings.
And when they said we had swords, I was like, that's really cool. And then when I got there, they're like, there's a bag. It's a duffel. It's huge. It's outside in the shed. It's full of all the swords. And I went and opened it, and it felt like finding that loot chest in a game that was just like the open. Oh,
so it's like in Zelda.
Glowing. I was like, this is everyone just delicate.
That's amazing.
Bringing it out. I was doing like ring shots up the blade. Oh my god, it was so much fun.
You know what?
Give me more of those.
You know what series I really like that people like drag me for?
I
love Transformers.
I love Transformers.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I grew up. Dude. My uncle loved I have a bag of 80s Transformers.
I was never into it growing up, but I like the movies.
The movies are sick.
The VFX are insane. You only watch it for the explosions and like the VFX. It's like totally a bro show.
I just saw that there was I hope no one went and snuck it in there to like make a trick and trick me, because that would be rude. But there's a scene where because whatever it's rated, you can't like have decapitations.
Yeah.
But one of the Decepticons is like doing this roll, and he like hits everyone, and like the foreground army guys like fly back.
Yeah.
And for a split of a second, like a head goes like off to the side. And I was like, oh my god.
Yo.
Sneak more of that into those movies.
I worked with the drone operator who worked on one of the Transformers movies.
Dude, that's probably so many.
He personally knows Michael Bay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. They eat charcuterie boards together and stuff.
Yeah, dude.
I like that. That'd
Saw be pictures of them on set. I'm like, yo, this guy's cool.
That's pretty. You're like, hey, man, besties? No, don't use people for what they know. But, all right.
I think we're gonna end it there.
If you if you feel burned out, man, ever, just hit me up.
Yeah, will do.
Hit up your photo friends, hit up your photo friends.
Hit up your photo homies.
And so
go get a drink. Don't pick up a camera.
Get a drink.
Get a drink. Get a charcuterie board. Just lay by the pool.
I don't want a charcuterie board. Honestly, the last thing I'll say is when we went to Craig, Colorado to meet Rose's family and friends and stuff, I took my camera with me. We took some film. We took our digital, and I'd never been there. And I remember when I became passionate about photography, it was because I was going new places and just trying to capture new things, like travel photography. Like a lot of us, we get into photography, it's because we're going somewhere and experiencing something. And I had to try so hard to turn off work brain and just like create. But it was one of the most liberating experiences of my creative photography life, honestly, because since I started it as a career in 2016 and going forward, everything felt like work in some way. Even if it was creative, it's like to present to people to try to sell sessions or something like that. But I went and took pictures of like houses and fields and details and like her dad's place and the, like just little memory things or like things I was just trying to just like capture for fun and for me and for her. And it was not work related at all. And my brain, it was like drugs. It was just like nothing is for some serious purpose. It's just for the love of photography and capturing these moments. And if you're a photographer that feels burnout, honestly, go and photograph something you typically don't, or remember what you started as, or like what you began with, and go and just take your new skills and apply it to that and see how it makes you feel. Not for social media, not for anyone except yourself.
See, I never do that anymore.
That's hard.
Well, I guess like landscapes are for me.
I literally just had to be taken away from everything I know and taken away from my car and put somewhere else. And then it was like, just happened, right? It's hard to do though.
I feel like for me, if I don't think something is going to make it to the website, I won't even bring the camera.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And we get stuck in that. But I did something that was not.
See, but that's good though. It could also be for like a good personal memory thing.
Yeah.
That's the other exception.
Just walk away from it all.
So if it's not for the portfolio or if it's not for the memory, forget it.
No, it doesn't have to be for something. It can
it could just be for fun.
It can be for fun. You're allowed to use your camera for just fun. If you're like a full-time or a professional, just you don't have to think about the purpose behind it. It doesn't have to be for anything. Just try it. I don't know. It sounds crazy maybe, but just try it.
Yeah. All right. I think we're going to wrap it up there.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts?
Dude, the fans kicked back on like they weren't supposed to, and I can think straight again. And I
know, it's a little bit cooler in here now.
Yeah.
And noisier.
All right. That's it for me. Thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you guys so much for listening. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify.
Yeah.
Like if you're watching this on YouTube. Where else are we? Basically everywhere.
All over the place.
Follow us on Apple Podcasts. Folks, anywhere where you can find podcasts, we're there.
If you're in Portland, say hello.
If you're in Portland, come say what's up.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. See you all very soon.
Bye.